Well, growing up, I never felt that very often. I didn't feel liked by like my friends' parents. I just never felt
Accepted.
accepted. Yeah.
This is very exciting, honestly. Kate, Tabitha, Portia, thank you so much for the time. I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
excited to
Thank
talk to you.
you.
This is such a special film. It truly is. It's just wonderful, lovely. It's beautiful. Kate, I have to ask, where did it come from?
It's just a story of really chance encounter. I was on a road trip with my cinematographer, and we were just looking for, faces or little stories for short films, or just, just trying to get some footage. And no way were we planning on doing a feature. And I filmed a woman in South Dakota for a couple hours, and then I got a phone call from her daughter, and she said, "If you want an amazing story, head east of Wall and find a woman named Tabatha." And so that's what I did. And then met them, filmed them for 5 days, just kind of doc footage of, everything. And then went back to LA and I looked at the footage. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I need to keep going back out there. And then I ended up living with them for a few years, just building their trust. You know, uh, Really understanding their way of life in order to make a film about them, with them, and collaborate with them to make a film that was authentic as possible. And so the script is, it is docufiction. It's inspired by their lives, the script's moments that they've shared with me about the past that I wrote into a narrative piece, and then also moments I've witnessed, and then some fiction kind of weaved through. So yeah, that's kind of how the whole thing started.
That's absolutely amazing. Tabitha, what's going through your mind at this time? Like a woman shows up and says, I'm a filmmaker. I hear you're interesting. Can I live with you? What I'm like, how, what goes through, what was going through your mind?
Well, I'm always excited to show someone cowgirl shit. Like, so it was really, it was fun, especially someone from the city. You want to see if they can hang, if if they just like run off or see, that's the difference. Once in a while, they'll just, run off. The other ones will stay till they have to absolutely leave at the last moment, and that's what Kate did. She had 8 hours to get to her plane, and she had a 7.5 hour drive to that place to like when the moment she left, she stayed with us for 5 days. They had 5 more days to like travel around and see anything they wanted, anybody. But after she came to see us, they just stayed.
And it's because they're so fun. Like you hang out with them, you ride in the Badlands with them, you like listen to music with them. You're just like, oh, I want to live here now. So
What was the process like of creating the script? Like for the three of you, was it like Tabitha, you said there were moments you observed and moments they shared, but was this a collaborative process of developing this story?
yeah, it was. I didn't write the script I until the very like until I really needed to.
Mm.
So because I just wanted to like live with their stories and what we've witnessed together in my body for a little bit. And I was also very nervous to write the script. Giving a 100-page script to someone that's inspired by their life is kind of like giving them the biggest love letter you could give anyone. So yeah, and of course, I wanted to feel like I did them justice, and that they could watch this film and be like, yeah, this was my life and this was me, and Kate understood that. So but I'm not like a precious director or writer in any way. Like I love collaborating with actors, whether they're first time actors or professional actors. Like I was doing the same thing with Scoot, same thing with Jennifer. It was me just being like, all right, this doesn't feel authentic coming out of your mouth. Okay, what would? Or you know, let's change this scene, Tabby. What would you say instead? Same with Portia. So yeah, it's very collaborative.
I have a confession to make is that I didn't know that you two were the real Portia and Tabitha when I saw the film. I found that after the fact, and I thought, I don't know who these two actors are, but they're doing an incredible job. So, for you two, what was that like to play yourselves on screen, and what's it like to see that?
Playing yourself, it's difficult at times, but easier than playing a different character because you don't have to learn what the character is because it's you.
It's fair.
And seeing myself on screen at first was really weird. Like I was like, oh, that's me with 600 other people watching it.
Yeah, they're very brave to say yes to this project and like really put themselves out there. Yeah, I'm bow down to them constantly for that.
Honestly, you both are just wonderful in this film. And
Mm.
Portia, I wanted to ask you about writing. I wanted to ask you about writing because in this film, we get a sense of just the joy and the freedom of getting out there and just being riding, as I'm saying riding a lot. Um, but I'd love to know from your perspective, what is it that you're feeling when you're on the horse? What is it? What do you love most about it?
You can't really express the feeling when you're on a horse. It's like one of the best feelings is just letting your horse run. And I,
Freedom.
yeah, freedom. It's one of my favorites. And honestly, if you haven't rode before, you should try it.
I don't know if the horse could handle me. That's my fear. Is that I have this fear that it's just going to say, no, we're done with you and move on. But no, it really does look like there's just such life in those moments on screen. It just which is a testament to you and your writing and also to Kate in the film. Um, I would love to hear Tabatha about, oh, actually, and Portia too, but there's a conversation about belonging in this film, and I was wondering for you both, what does it mean to create a space where people belong? Because this seems like an incredible place to be.
Yeah. Well, growing up, I never felt that very often. I didn't feel liked by like my friends' parents. I just never felt
Accepted.
accepted. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's a big thing to feel that. And I don't care who or what color, anything, whatever about the kid. If they need somewhere to go, they're welcome. As long as they want to put in a little effort and help out.
Yeah. Kate, was there a moment where you knew after spending so much time there that you knew you belonged?
Yeah, I mean, there's just
As soon as you went home and
yeah,
were like, I'm coming back.
yeah, it's I came back to LA and I was very depressed. And because I was just like I felt the most myself I've ever felt in my life, and I thought I knew who I was, and I thought until I met them, and they've completely changed me in the way I look at the world and the way that I see myself and communicate with others. Yeah, so. Yeah, I don't, and to be honest, I sometimes still do have a hard time going back. We're in LA now, or for me, that's home. But the longing I have, knowing that I'm missing, her at a rodeo, or I'm missing, what they're all doing after they're done with branding, all those things. Yeah, I really became like just like addicted to them.
Mm. That's so special. I just think that's so special, and the way like Tabitha, the home you've created, I think is just an incredible place for everybody who gets to be there. Um, and I would love to know about in this film too. We talk about uh, John's passing. There's a real conversation about dealing with scars and moving forward. And I would love to know if you can share what does it mean to deal with our scars and resume life again.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I guess I would almost say that Kate taught me that. Like, I can't say she exactly taught me it, but through whatever magic we just did together, it helped. Being able to just, I guess, from where I'm from, you don't talk about shit. You don't. you know, it just sits in the back there and you act like it didn't happen or you forget about it, you move on. That's what it is. But most of the time, if you go through that and you just do that kind of thing, it just tears you up from the inside out. You don't even realize it until you're almost too far gone. So being able to, yeah, do this, which was really hard. I mean, I almost got up and walked away just because of the feelings I had, but the crew members and my love for Kate, that's what made me stay there and continue on. And it was really awesome and it actually helped out, I think.
I remember at one point, it was the first day or second day I met Tabby, and I asked her what happened the night that John died, and she looked at me and she said, "No one's ever asked me that before." And I lost it. I'm like, oh, I cry now, but I was like, you've been holding on to this for so long and been so brave. And I thought that really said a lot about the culture and in cowboy culture and in South Dakota, that, you know, mental health is not something that's talked about. And yeah, the fact that nobody, and she's amazing people in her life, but no one would, you know, dare maybe ask, like, what actually happened and how are you feeling right now, you know, and to dive a little deeper. So an immense privilege that Tabby opened up to me and trusted me with that.
It really is powerful, quite frankly, and because of your experiences, I appreciate you sharing because it feels so honest. You know, when I've seen lots of films where stories happen, you know, I know this is true, but things happen and people are acting and you can feel it. But this feels so honest and it feels like it's coming from a genuine place that I think is just so wonderful.
Yeah, none of
Um,
that was scripted at the fire scene at all. All of the stories from every woman there was their story.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. That's amazing. What I this I have to I lost I'm sorry. Uh, what has the response been as you've been showing it around to people inside the community and outside?
Well, I mean, to know, you know, we won the audience award at Sundance, and I think for any filmmaker that's massive, you know. So for, you know, we never, you know, usually when you are about to show at Sundance or whatever, like people have seen, you know, you've done friends and family kind of screenings to get notes. So we never did that with this film. So I had no idea how it was going to be received. And I'm glad that I'm so happy about that, because it was such an amazing gift and surprise to see, you know, our great reviews for people to really understand, like, you know, and see their story and relate to these women so much is massive, because this also isn't, you know, it's not like a popcorn flick, you know what I mean? So yeah, but to have these, like, you know, esteemed, reputable reviews, and especially coming from Sundance and then getting picked up by Sony, it's it's really moving.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a very special film. Um, honestly, just as we wrap, what is it that you hope that people can take away from your story?
There's a lot, you know, but the main things is that if you try hard enough, you can get through anything. Women are badass, and we need to keep the cowboy shit alive.
Answer.
I love that. Portia, do you have anything you want to add?
Um, no. She said
Totally fine.
Good one-liners, you know?
Honestly, thank you so much for the time to chat with you. I really appreciate it. And Kate, thank you for bringing their story. And Tabitha, Portia, thank you for sharing yours. I really do appreciate the chance to chat with you about it. Thank you.
We're
Thank
thrilled.
you.
We're so thrilled you connected with it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Like